All right. Perfect. So I'm just going to spotlight myself for a second. And so if you could tonight, this is going to be short and sweet, but maybe be ready to take a few notes because there's going to be a few like major things I want you to get from this Zoom. You can use your phone and write in your notes or whatever. It's not a big deal. It's not like a lot of stuff, but just a few highlights. Welcome to Platinum. First of all, this is the first time we've actually met. This is not how we intended on having our first face-to-face meeting, obviously, but this is the first time everybody's been together at the same time. So welcome. We've got 37 girls in the organization this year in our Adidas Elite, in our elite teams, which will be 4 teams. So everybody on here is either a freshman, a sophomore, or a junior. And 15 of the 37 are returning from last summer, and 22 are new. So for the most part, most of you guys don't know each other, which is, you know, it's all good. You guys will get to know each other soon. It does make it a little more challenging for us right now when we're all socially distancing and quarantined from each other, because I really want to get you guys to connect and talk and, you know, share different things. And most of y'all don't even know each other, so I know how that goes. Y'all aren't going to do a lot of that, but hopefully we can get to know each other at least somewhat before we get started on the court. So what I want to do to get started, I'm going to put a few people on the spot, is I'm going to kind of just open it up, and we don't have time for everybody to do this, but just a couple of you guys, I want to see who will do this, but I want to hear from just like maybe 3 or 4 different people, girls, not coaches, that'll just jump on and just kind of say hello to everybody, tell everybody who you are, and tell everybody what you've been doing the last couple of weeks since you hadn't been able to go to school or do anything. So who wants to go first?
I can go.
Who is that?
It's Claire.
Where you at, Claire? Hold on. I'm gonna spotlight you. Let me find you. Can't find you. So many people on here. Oh, there you are. Okay. Go ahead, Claire.
Okay, so over the, quarantine, I've really been watching Friday Night Lights, the show, a lot, and we can't go to the gym, so I've been going to a park, and running so I don't get fat, but that's about it.
Where are you from, Claire? Where do you go to school?
I go to school at Jim Ned, which is by Abilene. It's a small town.
And what grade are you in?
I am a sophomore.
Perfect. Good job.
Thank you.
Who wants to go next?
I will.
Taylor?
Yes, sir.
All right, I got you spotlighted. Wendy, you're next. Go ahead, Taylor.
Over break, I've been playing horse on our outside basketball goal with my family. So it's been fun, and I've been jumping on the trampoline and working on all my.
How have you been doing in horse? Do you win?
I do pretty good, yes, sir. I basically just won, so.
Tell everybody where you live. Where are you from?
I'm from Highland. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's literally in a field, and it's outside of Roscoe, Texas, which is like 45 minutes from Abilene.
Perfect. And you have a basketball family, right? So tell them about just kind of your sisters, and like when you say you're playing horse with your family, most people probably don't think that's a big deal, but for you, it might be kind of tough, right?
Yes, sir. Well, both my parents played, and then my mom played volleyball in college, and my dad pole vaulted. But I have 3 older sisters, and 2 of them played in college. Sierra's the oldest, and she played at ACU, and then coaches at Hardin-Simmons. So she teaches me a lot. And then Hannah, she played at Tarleton. So I looked up to Hannah a lot because we play similar positions. So.
Perfect.
And then Carly, she didn't play because her knees are really bad. So, but she loved it too. So it's some hard competition.
So you come from a family of basketball players. That's awesome. Great job. Thank you for being here. What grade?
Freshman.
Freshman. Great job. Way to be a leader. And I think Wendy was coming on next. Go ahead, Wendy. Somebody is.
I'm Wendy. I go to Melissa. It's by Frisco and McKinney. Over the break, I've just been going to the parks that have gyms on it so that we can still get shots up. And then my mom makes me run home after that. I've also been doing all my schoolwork just because they've been giving us a lot.
What grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
Sweet. And you have a fancy sort of purple light behind you, so that's kind of cool.
Oh yeah, they're pink Christmas lights that I put up like a long time ago.
Good job. Okay. And Wendy, unlike Claire and Taylor, Wendy played last year with us, so she's a returner. All right, one more person.
I don't mind going.
Who is that?
Marty.
Oh, hey, Marty, let me find you. Perfect. Go ahead, Marty.
Hey, y'all. I'm Marty. I go to Munster, Texas. It's about 45 minutes away from Denton, is the best that I can explain it. Over the break, I've been watching Netflix, doing track workouts because my coaches are brutal, and they send out at-home ones. But I try and go to the park as much as possible, and then sort of just hanging out with different friends and family, trying to relax a little bit.
Perfect. What grade are you in?
I'm a sophomore.
Awesome. Good job, Marty. Way to be a leader. All right, so I'll give a few more people a chance to do that at the end of the meeting, but we're going to just kind of jump into a few things. So first of all, there was not going to be a camp in April at all for anything with Platinum. So I'm sure some of you guys probably already figured that out, and I have not sent that to your parents as of yet, but I will probably tonight or tomorrow. I'm sure they already know. But as of last week we were still hoping maybe we could get our next camp in, which is this coming weekend, April 4th and 5th. And as I'm sure all of you know, that the president has extended our social quarantine and all that for basically the whole rest of this month, which is crazy. So that's going to pretty much put our court, as far as being on the court, that's going to put us 100% on hold for the month of April, which I'm sure your parents already know that. I will go ahead and send that out to all of them. Like I said, probably tonight or tomorrow. I was going to do it today, but today was a super, super busy day for me. For those of you who don't know me, I live in Frisco, Texas, and my name's Jay Bruce. I think I've met almost all of you, but you can call me Coach Bruce. You can call me whatever. A lot of the girls in Platinum in the past were sort of in my family at one point, and then an extension of that. So a lot of them just call me Jay, which is fine. It's all good. I don't really care. We're going to still coach you hard and expect you to treat us with respect and all that, of course. But my wife Taylor and I, who Taylor is on here, you'll hear from her in a minute. Our little girl Addie, we live in Frisco, which is just north of Dallas. So we own multiple businesses. So this time has been pretty intense for us, trying to figure out how to make it through this whole coronavirus thing with a lot of different things we got going on. Platinum basketball being a big part of what we have going on, but we also have other businesses that are being affected in different ways, and we're trying to just kind of maneuver our way through that. One of those businesses, we have a lot of employees, and so it's just a lot to work through. So we're working through that, which is all good. But anyway, I don't know that I need to really introduce myself that much more, because I think most of you guys know me. I used to be a high school coach for a living on the boys' side. I did that for 7 years as a head coach, and 3 years before that as an assistant, so 10 years total. And I never coached girls until Platinum, which this coming year will be our 5th year to do Platinum. So anyway, I love coaching, love basketball, and of everybody on here, I can tell you there's probably nobody that is more anxious to get this party started than myself. We've been working really hard, and myself and several of the other coaches, to get this team put together this year. And so when you guys look across at all these different faces and all these different people on this Zoom, a lot of them you don't know, but one of the cool things about it is we didn't have tryout. We didn't have, any of that. We literally handpicked everybody on here. Your tryout was us talking to your coaches. Most of your coaches we know. Some of them really well, some of them not as well, but most of them we at least have some. I'm talking about your high school coaches. we have some relationship with. So your tryout was your high school season, hearing about who you are as a person from your coaching staff, watching you from the bleachers, just at games. Some of the time you guys didn't even know we were there. And literally we picked you guys. So it's really, to me, it's an honor to be on here if I was you, because it's not like you just happen to be one of the best players at the tryout. And that's how a lot of teams go. You go to tryout. If you're one of the best players at the tryout, you get to play on the team. This is more than that. And so we really are fired up about doing things at a really high level. We want to win. We want to be positive. We want to play hard. We want to play harder on defense than anybody else in the entire summer basketball world. We want to execute better than anybody else. And I truly believe what we put together this year, again, there's going to be 4 teams. Y'all are going to all make up 4 teams. I believe all 4 of those teams are going to absolutely kick butt. We might not have, there might be teams we go against that have more talented girls. There might be teams we play against that have girls that are signed at Baylor or signed at places like that. We might not have that yet, right? But I believe what we have is top to bottom, literally every girl on the roster can play. And I really believe that once we get together, it's going to be a really special, special summer. So we're believing that this coronavirus thing is going to end at the end of this month, right? That's the next possible time it will end, and that's what we're going to expect and hope for and pray for. And we're making plans and arrangements to get on the court immediately at the very beginning of May. So I don't really send out a schedule because really at this point we don't know what the schedule is, right? But as far as we're concerned, the last part of the schedule should be fine as of now. And I really believe we can still get just as many tournaments and just as much camp time in as we were originally going to, except it's just going to be squeezed down in a shorter amount of time. So like the original schedule had, maybe a camp, then a weekend off, then a camp, then 2 weekends off, then a tournament, and then 2 weekends off. So there was a lot of time off in the middle. The way it's going to probably be now in the situation we're in is you're getting all your time off right now, all in one big chunk, and then once we're able to get started, we'll have to squeeze everything in a little bit more closer together. So you got to just set your mind that you're getting all this break, but here's what's going to happen. When the world cranks back up, for a lot of you guys that if we go back to school, some of y'all play spring sports at your school, run track, different things like that. Not to mention you're going to have a lot of responsibilities that are going to just turn right back on, including platinum basketball. And so you might have a busy couple of months when everything cranks back up. So just kind of get your mind right for that to happen, and enjoy your time off, enjoy your break. So we're going to talk a little bit on here tonight about this next month. So we have a month. We know we can't play for the next month. We're about to be in April. Pretty much the whole month of April we can't play, and all of you guys are going to have a lot of free time. So we're going to talk about, as we go through the Zoom here in the next few minutes, kind of what our plans are going to be for the month of April. The first thing is, if you're writing down your notes, I want you to write this down. I want you and expect you to pay attention to the GroupMe group, okay? So we have a GroupMe. Everybody's in it. I know that you guys get distracted and busy and you're doing different stuff, but I also know that all of you guys are on your cell phones a lot. You have your cell phones in your hand. So I expect you guys to be able to get communication from that app. And if the app's not working, reach out. We'll get it fixed. We'll make sure it works. But I think you all have a phone, and you all should have the ability to get on the app. Don't be the person that I've got to constantly go back and text outside the group and go, hey, did you find out about whatever? Take your responsibility to pay attention to the group. If you don't want your notifications to be on, you don't want it to make a noise every time somebody posts, then turn your notifications off. But you got to be responsible enough to at least check it like every day, at least once a day. I mean, just at least look at it once a day to see what's going on in the group, okay? So that's one thing. So you say, what am I doing in April for Platinum? Well, one thing is you're paying attention to that group. So that's important to me. It's important to all of us. And so far, we haven't had anything being posted in there except productive stuff, like people posting their highlight video, welcomes. So I really want everybody to watch those and look at those anyway. We don't want the GroupMe to become people just talking and being silly and saying, hey, what are you doing today? Nothing. What are you doing today? You guys can do that outside the GroupMe. The GroupMe is a group message for specific communicating. Okay. And so far that's been good, but let's keep it like that. That way people's phones are not going off all the time. So that's number one. Number two is let's talk about the interview that I posted in there the other day from Coach DeRue from ACU. So Coach DeRue is he's the top assistant at ACU, which is a Division I school in Abilene. And he took the time a few nights ago to spend almost 45, I think it was like 47 minutes long, to visit with me and talk directly to all of you about just a perspective from a college coach about getting recruited, about highlight videos, about going to elite camps, about all the different ins and outs. And so part of being a part of Platinum basketball is we want to help you get on the path to going to college to play basketball. You might decide you don't want to do that. That's fine. But we want to provide all the resources we can to help you go down that road, okay? And so I'm going to continue to do these interviews with college coaches. I've already got the next one lined up for this week. But here's what I need you guys to do. I need you to go on there and watch the interview. That's it. Just watch it. You might say, Coach, that's a long time, 45 minutes. Well, it's all good. You can find 45 minutes. You can go out there in your yard, put your headphones in, shoot baskets, and listen to it that way if you want to. It's all good. You don't have to sit there and look at it, but at least listen to it because there's a lot of positive information in there. And I think you guys have enough free time right now to squeeze that in, okay? So we're taking the time to provide that. Even though we're not on the court right now, just pretend like all this stuff in GroupMe, it's like we're on the court and we're doing a drill. Well, if we're all on the court and we're all doing a drill, are you going to stand on the side or are you going to get involved in the drill? You're going to get in the drill and you're going to do it, right? Because that's what's expected. It's the same thing right now. We can't practice, but we can still get better, right? We can still get better and improve and make ourselves more prepared and make ourselves more, ready and connected and all the different things. So if we're giving you something, you're part of the team, just go watch it, all right? And if we say, hey, post this, or if we ask you to do something to take action after the interview, then obviously we want you to do that. So anyway, hopefully most of you guys did watch it. If you didn't, it's still in there. You can go in and watch it. There's a YouTube link in the GroupMe. One of the things he talked about in there was staying ready and working out. He really pointed out 3 different things that he wants his college players to do. And so I'm gonna give you those 3. So if you're taking notes, put these in your notes. According to Coach Drew, he's a college coach. He said really there's 3 different things that he expects those ACU girls to be doing during this quarantine. One was just a lot of ball handling stuff. He said he expects them to come back with handles like crazy. So stationary ball handling, you can do that in your living room. You can dribble, do all kinds of dribbling stuff. 2 was working on your core. He talked a lot about that. You can go back and watch it and let him explain it, but just building that core, being strong through the middle part of your body. And number 3 was doing yoga, which is about flexibility. And that's just something big they believe in. So I think that's very, very good stuff. It's maybe you've never done yoga, I don't know, but maybe this will be a good time to try it out. If that's what Coach Giroux says, then maybe maybe do that. So we're going to talk in a little while before we wrap up about some possible workouts we can do together through Zoom. And I'm going to let you guys kind of decide how we go forward with that. So just hang tight on that in just a minute. The other things he said, if you're taking notes, if you already watched it, you know this, but he talked about your highlight videos. He talked about how to send those to college coaches, what he recommends. That is important information. I mean, I honestly didn't know some of the things he said before that interview. And he talked about elite camps. And so just be aware of your highlight video, be aware of how to get that out to coaches. Go back and listen to what he recommends with that. And then the elite camps. Right now, a lot of stuff's on hold, but you can still, with your parents involved, be getting ready to plan out the month of June. And then there's also some elite camps in August. Team camps, if you're going with your high school team, to some team camps. That's usually in June or August. That really doesn't interfere with Platinum. And that's on purpose. We built our whole schedule on purpose to leave the month of June open for you to be able to go to those elite camps. So if you sit at home the whole month of June, you don't do anything, that wasn't the point, okay? We could have been playing. But we're expecting you to continue to play during June, but do it on college campuses, either with your high school team, or by yourself. And that's a big part of getting yourself involved in that recruiting process. So if you want these college coaches to come sit at our court and watch you play, you have to get involved in getting your highlight film made, get it sent to them now, go to their elite camps, take action, be proactive. You could have the attitude of, oh, I'm a stud, they're going to come watch me, they're going to come find me. That's fine, but that's just not reality sometimes. There's a lot of girls that they're trying to weed through. There's a lot of kids, and there's a lot of people in their ear, and there's a lot of stuff coming at them. And I could tell you some stories just that I know of girls that almost went unseen, and somebody happened to see them, signed them, and they had great college careers. So you might be the best stud of everybody on this call, and nobody's recruiting you. That's probably because some of the things we just talked about, right? You hadn't been in some of the right elite camps. You hadn't been sending your highlight video out and things like that. So go back and watch that video, please, of Coach Giroux from ACU. Also, he asked me, it was his idea. He goes, how about we do another one of these in a couple of weeks? So I'm going to interview a different coach this week, but in a couple of weeks, we're going to bring Coach Giroux back on because he volunteered. And I'm going to let you guys submit questions. We're going to ask him questions directly from you. So be thinking about that. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go around to all our coaches real quick. I want you guys to hear from all the coaches that are on here tonight. Let them share just a word of wisdom or two with you. Just kind of what's going on with them during the break and just anything they want to share. So let me see here who I can find first. This is in no particular order. And by the way, all our coaches, we have coaches that are going to coach certain teams, but we're also going to coach together. So the way Platinum basketball with these elite teams are going to work is everybody's going to work out together. There's going to, like, you might be, a 2023, a freshman. So Coach Bates and Coach Joanna are going to be your coaches during the game, sitting on the bench with you. However, in practice and in the camps, it's going to be everybody coaching everybody. You know what I mean? So don't just look at it like, oh, well, that's my only coach in the organization. Everybody is coaching everybody. That's the way we want it to be. We're going to run a lot of the same stuff. For example, I can get into all this later, but a lot of the stuff we do, like, for example, our transition break, how we get the ball down the court, our press break, a few different basic offensive stuff. All of us will do it the same, all the teams. So anyway, let's go with Coach Bobby Bates. Let me just introduce y'all to Coach Bates real quick. Coach Bates is by far the most legendary coach on this Zoom, the most tenured, the most successful. And we're all very, very fortunate to have Coach Bates be a part of Platinum because he has been a head coach at a lot of different schools. For example, Denton High, Ponder, Princeton, Valley View. There might be a few other ones in there he can tell us. But this man has won over 700 games. He retired a couple years ago. We were able to pull him out of retirement to coach with us. And he's just the man. He's a legend. So, Coach Bates, I'm going to pass it over to you. You share with these girls.
All right. Well, I don't know what else left to share after you gave me that intro, but we do live in Denton. My wife's a retired school teacher as well, and I had 34 years in school basketball, coached girls, started out coaching boys, but did girls and boys. And then once I went to Valley View, went straight girls and never went back to boys, never had a desire to go back to coaching boys. Girls have been really where God's put me. And so I was blessed to be able to coach girls most of my career, actually. But I'm going to be coaching the 15U team with Joanna. I'm excited about that. Last year I got to coach with Coach Collins. So I always enjoy getting to coach with other great coaches, and we can just share information. I like learning just like the younger coaches. So I feel like if you stop learning, then you stop growing as a basketball player. So as a coach, I always want to get better. I want to learn. I hope you do too as a basketball player. And one thing that Jay said, we're talking about you being selected. I was going to share a story. We went and watched two girls from a school that coaches told us about, and even college coaches, they came to their elite camp and they told us about these kids. We went and watched them, and we weren't that impressed. And we thought, well, maybe we missed something. We went to another game and watched them again, and we still weren't that impressed. And we didn't offer them a position on our elite teams, even though they came of high recommendation from other coaches. And so you being a part of Platinum Basketball, one of us or all of us have seen something in you for you to be asked to be a part of this. So again, consider yourself not just fortunate, but blessed that you get to be a part of Platinum. I feel blessed to be a part of it. Like I said, I thought I was done coaching when I retired from coaching. I was like, well, that's it. I was trying to get all my basketball stuff away. Nobody wanted it. But it's been awesome. This will be my second year back coaching basketball. And it's great because you just get to coach basketball and you don't have to do all the school stuff, all the crap stuff, I say. This is just the fun stuff, just basketball and kids. And you get to coach kids that want to be there. They want to get better. Their parents want you to get better. They want you to learn. And we feel like we got the best coaches in Platinum Basketball. So we're excited. I'm excited to get this thing going as soon as we can. Excited to meet a lot of you on the court and just coach you up. So I'll pass it back to you, Jay.
Coach, great job. You guys can all give it up for Coach Bates, right? All right. We'll move now to Coach Joanna Daniel. And Joanna is also my wife's little sister, so my little sister. And Joanna and I, one interesting thing about her and I is we started Platinum Basketball together. We coached Platinum together the very first year and always ever since. And Joe is a coach at Highland Park ISD now. She's been at multiple different schools, coached under, in her short career, she's been an assistant with several really, really good coaches with a lot of experience. So she's awesome. So let's hear from Coach Joanna Daniel.
Hi, guys. I don't really care what you call me. You can call me Coach Joe. You can call me Joe. You hear Addie call me JoJo. I'm up for anything. It doesn't really matter. But I'm super excited for this summer, and I'm really excited to coach with Coach Bobby Bates. He's really good, and I think I can learn a lot of things from him. Y'all should be super excited, too. Like Jay said, I started out my coaching at Bullard, and I coached under Coach Gill and Coach Hightower. And I learned a lot from them in my 2 years there. And then my third year, I went out to Tomball to coach with my head coach from high school, who I played for 6 years. He took us to the state tournament all 4 years. Unfortunately, I only won one, and that was my freshman year with my older sister. She was a senior, and those are some of the best memories I've ever had playing basketball, and I wish I could go back and do it all over again. But it flies by, so even though you're a freshman right now, you're going to think, oh, this is a long time. I have 4 years. It's good. I have plenty of time to get better. Honestly, you're going to blink and you're going to be a senior, and you're going to wish you could have gone back to your freshman year and done maybe some things differently. So enjoy the time that you have right now. I know y'all are in quarantine, but these times right here are probably some of the most important, because what you do when nobody's looking matters the most, honestly. If you're going to do all the little things behind closed doors, just imagine what you will do in front of people, because you want people to know how hard of a worker you are, and all those things that you do behind the scene really matter. So, Jay's been talking about doing dribbling drills and stuff like that. Even though you don't have a goal, everybody needs to learn how to dribble, right? I was a point guard growing up, and my freshman year, I actually played a shooting guard because my older sister was a point guard. And so I had a lot of shoes to fill behind her. But after my freshman year, I played point guard, and then I went on to play at Hardin-Simmons, and I played there for 4 years. And I had a lot of fun. And I wish I could honestly go back and do my college career all over again. But high school is where it's fun, and you just need to enjoy it and get better while you can. I know Jay was talking about his interview with the ACU coach and how yoga and core work is super important. And honestly, I'm going to be very truthful. I didn't think any of that was very true when I played. Like, who needs core strength? But it's very important. It helps with a lot of things. It's going to prevent you from a lot of injuries. It's going to strengthen your back, your lower back, and those are like little things you can just get on YouTube and find core strength and find yoga. And I'll be honest with you, I did a yoga video yesterday, and yoga's hard, really hard, but it opens up your flexibility and it makes you stronger. And those are just little things that you can do right now if you are bored, because if you're like me, I can't really teach right now, although everybody's talking about how they're like just coaching. But if you're a PE coach, it really doesn't matter. So I teach PE. So it's like I coach all day, every day. I have 5th and 6th graders now, and they're awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for this year, and I'm excited to see all y'all's faces. Kind of sad that we can't start in April, but it's going to be a fun summer. You're going to get to travel, and some of your best memories might come from this basketball summer league. And so just enjoy it. And if you have questions, don't be afraid to ask any of us. I think we're all kind of experienced, and you're in good hands, and we're glad you're here.
Awesome job, Coach. Now we're going to move over to Coach Taylor Bruce, which is my wife, which is somewhere else in my house. And there she is. Hold on, let me spotlight you. All right, go ahead.
Okay, so I am Jay's wife, and y'all can see Addie walking around up there. And so Joe and I are definitely sisters. It was fun playing in high school together. So I know we have the littles on here, so y'all enjoy that, being sisters, because it's something you can't get back, and it goes so fast. And we give Joe a hard time because when we won, I won 2 state championships, and Joe won one of them with me. So we have a kind of a fun family. All sisters have won a state championship in basketball, and basketball is a huge passion of ours, and we love it. We love the game. Last year for Platinum, I coached our 6th grade girls. So that was a lot of fun. We had a good time, and I loved coaching them. They're just so raw and, are trying to figure out the game. And so it's going to be fun coaching high school this year because y'all know the game. And Jay's right. We are looking forward to getting started, and we love defense. And I cannot wait to be able to get into the gym and just work with you guys, because we have a great time. And honestly, y'all are so blessed to have all these coaches that you have on here. And the effort that they put in is unreal. And I'll second what Jay said. It's cool that he was able to interview the ACU coach, and those points that he gave were not anything you would hear, honestly. Coach Bates and I were talking about how things that were on that interview, nobody would have known without Jay having that conversation with him. So if you didn't watch the video, and you think it's kind of, lame to sit there and listen to it, it's really good, especially if you want to play college basketball. Now, if that's not really your thing, then I totally get it. But if you want to play college basketball, then I would definitely go watch it, because it's got some great, great stuff in there. But yeah, Joe's right. The quarantine is going to be over before you know it, and you're going to be back into the gym, and what you do behind closed doors is what matters most. And so we can definitely tell you that for sure. As far as workouts, Jay was talking about if we could share something. So one thing that I wish I would have done in high school, that my dad told us to do all the time, and we just thought he was being a typical dad, but he would tell us to walk around with the basketball. He said, if you want to be serious, take a basketball and walk around with it wherever you go. And then at night, before you go to bed, you should lay on your bed and just shoot to yourself like 50 shots. And so that's something you can do. It's easy to do every night. Not only do you work on your form, but you're also working on your arm strength, which is another big deal. And, I love the dribbling drills, especially if you're a guard. I think it's cool that if you can map out or like block off some of your room, wherever you can, the garage, and just find you some videos on YouTube. I know that Gannon Baker's really good. And if you want to watch some of his videos, he's got some handles like no other. So if you've never watched him, go on there and watch his videos. He has tennis balls that he gets you to use, and he works on your hand-eye coordination really, really well. And even for you post players, college coaches pay attention to that stuff. As a post player, if you can handle the ball, it's a big deal. And so it can definitely work for you, either if you're a guard or a post. You can work on your handles and things like that. So we're excited. It's going to be great. Y'all get ready for a fun, packed-filled summer whenever it starts, hopefully soon, because it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're really looking forward to getting to know you guys better. So with that, Jay, I'll pass it back to you.
Awesome job. Good job. All right, now I'm going to go to Coach Joe Collins. Let me find Coach Collins on here. Oh, here you are. Let me spotlight you.
Oh, okay.
All right, Coach. It's Coach
Hey.
Collins' second year with the club. His daughter's Kinley, who plays at Wills Point. Coach Collins is also a coach at Wills Point ISD. And we had a lot of coaches last summer in our organization. And, I mean, it is what it is. A lot of them did okay, and a lot of them whatever. But Coach Collins is one of the ones that we really related to the most. He was kind of our kind of guy. He was energetic. He was fired up. He had a ton of energy. All the girls that played on his team loved him. So anyway, we're excited to have Coach Collins back with us again. So, Coach, take it away.
Hey, yeah, I tell you what, I really enjoyed it last year. It's great being around a bunch of girls that are all there, that want to be there to play basketball, to be around coaches that are talking about basketball all the time. I mean, that's really what I enjoyed most about it. I'll give you a little bit of background on myself. I was in the Air Force for 23 years, so I got into coaching a little bit late. The last year I was in, they moved me up to South Dakota. They knew I was getting ready to retire, so they didn't really spend I didn't have a whole lot of work that I had to do, and I had a lot of time to take off. So I went and watched some boys games because I knew I wanted to get into coaching. And I went and watched this team called St. Thomas More. And when I went and watched them, they were pretty decent. And I thought, you know what, maybe I'll go ask if I can be an assistant coach there. And I thought I was a boys coach at the time. So I went to the school and I walked in and I asked them, I said, hey, can I talk to the basketball coach? And they sent out the coach and I was talking to him and I said, hey, look, I just really like to come out, help you guys practice, maybe, you know, assist you, be an assistant coach. And they were like, well, we can't pay you anything, but you're welcome to. And I was like, okay. And I thought this was the boys coach. Well, when I showed up the next day and he had told me the practice schedule and he said the girls will be out the second. And I was kind of like, the girls, but it was too late. I'd already talked to him. So I was like, all right, well, so anyway, out come the girls, but little did I know, I fell into like a really good position on that team. They ended up winning 6 state championships out of 8. There's a freshman. She plays at University of Utah now. She's actually a sophomore this year. She was Pac-12 all freshman. There was another D1 player. Her name was Lexi Sweetland. She graduated last year from Washington State. And then another D1 player, and her name is Kira Duffy. She was just named the Summit League Player of the Year, and she just now graduated. South Dakota actually made it to number 17 in the rankings, but they didn't get to play the tournament, which was pretty sad. And then they had another post girl, and she was a D2 player, and she was just a beast. But anyway, so I kind of fell into that and thought, all right, well, you know, I can learn a lot from them. So I, you know, went to all their games, went to all their practices, helped all I could. And, you know, so we've got 3 D1 players and a D2 player. And the point guard was this little short girl, and she wasn't more athletic. She wasn't stronger. She wasn't faster. She wasn't anything compared to these D1 girls. Her name was Madison Kirsch. And but she, you know, she'd bring the ball down, she'd kick it around, and she probably averaged 3 points a game. And we went through about 7 or 8 games, and I always kind of wondered why she was the point guard, because these other 3 D1 players all ended up being point guards at their college. And so I was kind of really interested in that. And one day, all 3 of these girls were just having an off night. They weren't hitting anything. Nothing was going in. They were losing by about 8. And this little point guard, Maddie, she just went off for about 20 points. And I talked to the coach afterwards, and I was kind of like, she could probably do that every night if she wanted to. And he's like, yeah, I'm glad she doesn't. And I was kind of confused by that. But, you know, they'd come from behind and win this game. So I talked to him about it later, and I was like, what do you mean when you said that? And he was like, you know, if she wasn't the way she is, imagine the problems I would have. I've got 3 D1 players. They're playing positions that aren't their positions. Typically, they're all going to be point guards in college. I've got a post that wants the ball. And if I gave the ball to one of them, imagine what the parents are going to be like, what the kids are going to be like. She's a leader, and she dishes the ball out. She feeds the ball. She does what I need her to do. And she's averaging 3 points a game. And then it hit me, you know. And the reason I told you that story is just because I thought it was interesting that there's more ways to be good than just being able to shoot the ball and dribble the ball. And this girl was she ended up playing NAIA, but she was the worst out of the 5 players, but she was a point guard on a team with 3 D1 players. So I thought that was really interesting. There's a lot going on as far as the way she thought and the way she did things. She was a true leader at the point. So that was my note of wisdom out there, that you don't always have to be the scorer or the driver or whatever to be one of the most important people on the team. But with that, after I got out of the military, I had that last year up in South Dakota. I'd moved my kids 5 or 6 times. I told, I said, wherever I get hired, it's where I'm getting hired. I'm not moving anymore. I got into it. I got hired about a week before I got out of the military and ended up in Wills Point. So here we are in this, and I am really looking forward to this. And this whole thing that's going on right now has got me really excited to get this thing started. That's all I got.
Great job, Coach.
Thank you.
And that is a great story. It's interesting you share the story about all those point guards. So with our junior team, and some of y'all don't even know this, but those of you that are in 21s, we have a really good group of girls, and it's going to be a great team. But we have several of you guys that are really point guards for your high school team. So we kept putting the team together, and we're like, well, we really want this girl. We really want this girl. I really want this girl. But Wendy's a point guard, and McKenna is a point guard, and Danny's a point guard, and Matt, and all these different girls are point guards. But I think it's going to make for a really awesome team in a sense, because we're going to be able to do some fun stuff with that group. So that story really goes along with that really well. So let's go over to Coach Tracy Carter. I see him over here, and spotlight him and let him share with everybody real quick. So Coach Carter is the head boys coach at Maybank High School. And so he coaches on the boys side, but his daughter's Lauren, who you can see hiding or moving around there. And Lauren's awesome. And so anyway, Coach Carter, we're fortunate enough that we have Lauren, that we also get Tracy to help us. So Coach Carter, share with these girls real quick.
Thank you, Jay. Like I say, Coach Tracy Carter, I'm head boys coach at Maybank, which is 45 minutes due southeast of Dallas, downtown Dallas. And my daughter, Lauren, sophomore. So we, first of all, I want to tell the new girls to the Platinum organization that they've made a great choice. My daughter and my 6th grade son now both played last year. And between my kids and my wife, the family, the whole family experience, what a tremendous organization. Well ran, organized, and the coaches, their actions speak for themselves. So very good, experienced coaches make great decisions as far as making sure the kids on the court, all the kids are going to illustrate that they play the game the right way with high character. Play team ball, move the ball, play defense, which is always big in my book. So you new girls coming on board are going to have a very memorable summer. And it's very unfortunate that we're going through what we are with the quarantine, but it'll be over with before you know it. And I just want to make sure that everyone understands what to get themselves into. And the girls, I'm sure that it's returning, all feel the same way. We all can't wait around here to get started. And, in the meantime, I want to piggyback what you'd mentioned about the ACU coach, and it's what I've been explaining to my daughter Lauren, that, you got to be prepared when all this dies down. And, as, in the next month when we may hopefully get started, that you need to make sure that you can. I know for my high school team, we have sent out some videos on some one-on-one in a basketball park. We want to get a 20-minute workout in, many ball handling drills and videos we've been shooting out to those guys. We have a lower body workout, an upper body workout, core workout. I've kind of turned my garage into a little mini gym for some ladder agility work and things like that. So it's very important to stay on your game because when we do get together, eventually, like you mentioned, it's going to be all fast and furious trying to get things organized and get games in. So, as far as just some thoughts, I know Coach Collins mentioned something and it made me reflect back on my college playing days back in Oklahoma, that it certainly, we had a young man, a teammate back then that was from New York, and the kid probably could score 4 points in warm-ups. But I'm going to tell you, he was on our campus and wearing a uniform with our team because he was first of all, very coachable and played the game with extreme intensity and always was the guy doing the things that no one wanted to do, take the charges, get on the floor, fight for loose balls, the energy guy. And so just on what his statement was there regarding there's many different ways that you can affect the team and the performance of your team. That's certainly one of them. You don't have to be the one that always puts the ball in the basket. So it is a tough time we're going through, and I'm just excited and can't wait until we get through this, and very excited about seeing all the other coaches and all the new girls and the returning girls, and can't wait because we certainly like our basketball here. We appreciate it.
Great job, Coach. And I told you guys we had a rock star group of coaches. And so we got one more, and we'll pass it over to Coach Tim Bartlett. Tim and I have been real good coaching friends for a long time. And now we do business deals together. And so we're best friends. But Coach Bartlett's a great coach and a great leader. So, Coach Bartlett, come on and share with everybody.
All right. Can you hear me, Jay?
Yes.
All right. Well, hello to all the young ladies, and hope you all are doing very well during this time. And I'll just introduce myself real quick. Like Jay said, Coach Bartlett. This is my other two. My wife, Carla, she's the head softball coach in Salina. And then Brooklyn's 2.5. She acts like she's 30. And so, y'all are all familiar with the 2-on-1 fast break, So when you get offensive, you got two players attacking one defender. I'm the one defender. I've got two of them. So, I'm at a disadvantage all the time. So y'all can relate to that from basketball. But no, like Jay said, I coached high school basketball for 10 years down in East Texas. Was coaching on the boys' side. That's how Jay and I become friends, is through coaching. And he brought me into Platinum basketball several years ago, and it's been a whole lot of fun. Really enjoyed it, and especially being on the girls' side. I reflect back now to just how much the boys are just idiots. I mean, they're just total idiots, and so I don't understand why I ever coach boys. So, anyways, but no, I'll be real brief as we wrap up tonight. I just want to give you some good news and try to encourage you during this time. So obviously, there's a lot of things that's going on in the world that we can't control. And in life, you have controllables and uncontrollables. So there's a lot of stuff right now that you can't control. But the good news is that this is just a season. It's a season in time. It's a season in the world. And as all seasons do, this is going to pass as well. So in seasons, you have a beginning to the season, and then you always have an end to a season. Any season, right? So, winter. Winter is always followed by spring. Spring is always followed by summer. Summer is followed by fall. And there's always a beginning and an end, right? So the good news is we don't know how long this is going to last, and there's a lot of things that we can't control during this time. However, we know that it is going to come to an end. We know that things will go back to getting into a regular routines and things of that nature, and you're going to get back on the court. We don't know when that's going to be, but you're going to get back on the court. You're going to get to play, and it's going to be awesome. So really what I would challenge you tonight with is you've heard. I mean, you had the interview with the ACU coach. You've heard all these great coaches that have been giving you suggestions. But really the question that you have to ask yourself is, what am I as a player, what am I going to do to separate myself from the competition? What am I going to do to give myself a competitive advantage during this time? Because honestly, this is a gift really for some of you, because this is an opportunity for you to get a competitive advantage over the competition. And those of you that want to go on and play college basketball, it is highly competitive to be recruited and to get scholarships. There's a limited number of scholarships, and there's thousands upon thousands of girls that want to play college basketball. So what are you going to do to separate yourself from all of them? Well, you have an opportunity to really do that now. And there are some things that you can control. They give you a lot of great suggestions as far as workouts and things like that, but you absolutely can control your diet during this time. You absolutely can control your workout routines. You absolutely can control your skill work that you put in, and drill work and things that you can do to help you become a better player. And you can do that stuff consistently, because consistency is the key to all long-term success. So if you're going to be successful at anything, you have to have consistent disciplines. And so here's what I know. The majority of all the girls out there that want to go play college basketball, they're not going to do those things. They're not. They're going to sit around. They're going to eat bad. They're going to be lazy. They're going to binge watch TV, Netflix, and all these other things. They're going to play video games. That's what they're going to do most of their time. All right. So again, you have an opportunity to really separate yourself from all the competition during this time, but you got to seize the moment. You got to take advantage of it. And another thing that I would encourage you to do during this time is really instead of focus stuff and watching news and hearing all the doom and gloom, I would put some good stuff in. I would focus on reading the Bible, reading good books, getting on YouTube and listening to positive messages. There's a ton of a wealth of information that you can listen to. Listen to good uplifting music, spiritual music, whatever it is. But put good stuff in your mind and keep your mind, and don't get over on that negative side of life, because again, that's what a lot of people are going to do. So we're fired up about the summer, the spring, the summer, whenever it is that we get started, whenever we get back together, and it's going to be awesome. And as Jay said at the beginning, it's really an honor to be on this call, because there's a lot of players that wanted to play for us that really didn't get an invitation. And we will be one of the top programs in all of Texas, and and really in the country and within the Adidas circuit. And I think we're really going to surprise a lot of people at how well we're going to do in the tournaments. And so with that, back to you, Jay.
Great job, Coach. And I love that quote. Of course, Coach Bartlett, he says a lot of great stuff all the coaches did. And one of the things I'm most proud of at Platinum is our coaching staff. And I'm very proud of the group of players we have too. But there's a lot of teams out there with talent, but there's not anybody out there that can come close to the coaching staff that we have. And I truly mean that and believe that. And so you got a great coaching staff of folks here that are gonna be top notch. I can tell you right now. So consistency is the key to all long-term success. You're taking notes, right? So write that down in your notes, because we have some other businesses. There's one business we have where we made everybody in the company put that on their computer screen and tape it on there so they would read it every day. So consistency is the key to all long-term success. That's so wise. And I'm glad Coach shared that. And I hope you guys will read that to yourself, put it on the background of your phone, put it on your computer screen where you have to see it every day, because consistency is like he's talking about every day, right? Just being consistent. That's how you're going to make up a difference. That's how you're going to get that edge on everybody else that Coach is talking about. So leaving tonight, let's move on. Let's wrap this up. Next week, let's do another Zoom at 8. I will tell you that we'll keep it shorter than tonight. Tonight, we wanted you to meet all the coaches. But let's meet again next Monday night, same time, same place, 8 o'clock. So plan for that. And be watching out for another interview that I'm going to post on the GroupMe with another college coach. This time it's going to be Coach Darren Grover from Southeastern Oklahoma. He's the head women's coach at Division II. So it's a little bit different perspective from Division I to Division II. And also he's a head coach where Eric was an assistant. And anyway, they just won their conference this year. And we're going to the Nationals and didn't get to play. Such a bummer. They actually were on the bus going to the national tournament for Division II. And first time they've ever won their conference. The conference has been around for 9 years, and he's been the head coach that whole time. And he's coming off this conference championship. So I'm really looking forward to his interview. He's really good. So anyway, be watching out. So moving forward, be watching out in the next week for the interview with Coach Grover. Go back and watch Coach Drew's interview if you hadn't watched it. Zoom again next Monday night at 8, same time. Also, our coaches are going to be posting on the GroupMe short, about once a week or so. Each coach is going to post little short videos on the GroupMe of just positive messages to all the players. So again, I encourage you to watch those, okay? Just don't be the person that just blows it off and doesn't watch it. Be a winner. Do the extra, just like Joanna said, what you do when nobody's looking. So we're asking you to do just a few things during this time. Do those things. Don't be somebody that's, doesn't get on or doesn't show up or doesn't respond on the message board or whatever. And then the last thing is on the workouts. And so we could do workouts for y'all, if you want to. I'm just going to open it up for you guys to give feedback. You don't have to respond right now, but if you wanted us to facilitate like a workout, like on Zoom where everybody had a ball and everybody was working out at the same time, we could do that. I think what would probably be better is if we maybe just put workouts in the group me and you could watch them and do them at your own leisure, by yourself. That would probably be better. Or we could just not do any of that. You could just do it yourself. You could just figure it out. But anyway, I'm just kind of throwing that out there. I haven't given it a lot of thought. Coach Daniel, Joanna, and I talked about it a little bit earlier today, but think about it. If you guys would like to do workouts together, like let's just say that you're like, man, I think it'd be cool to do a workout where everybody's together. We're all doing the same thing. Like somebody's leading the workout, saying, all right, we're gonna do this, and we're gonna do this. If y'all want that, I do think some other clubs are doing that because I follow some other clubs on Instagram, and I think I've seen some of them doing stuff like that. But that doesn't mean we have to. I mean, it's whatever. But anyway, just think about that and let me know. Give me some feedback. What else? I think that's about it, really. Let's give a couple more girls a chance to shout out. So, told you I was gonna give you a few more of your opportunities. So, Tristan Keller. All right, I had a feeling Tristan Keller is gonna be one of them. Let me find you. All right, so let's let Tristan share with everybody real quick. All right, Tristan, you got it. Hang on, I can't hear you. Are you muted? Can y'all hear Tristan? Everybody says no. I could hear you earlier, so it was working. Hold on. All right, try now.
Now can you hear me?
There we go. Now we got you.
Okay. First, my mom's making me ask this question about like UIL and stuff because I know that like some of the other girls do track. They've been talking about like if we come back and UIL does start in May that they're gonna do like a lot of like tennis and track and softball all on like the weekends, like the regional, and like some of them are gonna be like smashed together. So like we didn't know if that's gonna conflict or like whatever.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I really don't know. We're just gonna have to see how it goes and see what the school schedule looks like. I mean, if school wasn't in session, we could do a camp during the week. You know, if nobody was going to school like Monday through Friday. But if that happens and school starts back in May and everything's full going in May, we're probably going to have to do Platinum as well. And if it conflicts, we're just going to have to try to do as much on Sundays because you won't have any UIL stuff on Sundays. And so at the very least, maybe we can get, some stuff done on Sunday afternoons, hopefully.
Okay. And then what? I just talk about myself? Okay.
Tell everybody where you're from and what you've been doing during the break.
I'm from Mason. I'm a sophomore, and I play point guard, I guess. Yeah. I've been doing like a lot actually, cause I was gonna use this as a little break time, but my mom did not want that to happen. So I'm like doing like pole vault workouts, running workouts, tennis. I wake up, I tutor some of these little kids on math, cause my mom's a math teacher. So
Tristan, tell all these girls what you do during the fall. I think you're the only girl on here that can say this.
During the fall, I play football.
Tristan plays football. That's pretty legit. What position in football do you play?
I play corner and wide receiver.
You guys impressed, right? Come on. Awesome. Great job, Tristan. Anything else? What grade?
Sophomore.
Sophomore. All right. Great job. All right. How about one more? Who else wants to?
I'll go.
Okay. Go ahead, Danny. Sorry, I was muted. I was talking to you, but.
My name is Danny. I go to Dodge City. I'm a point guard. I'm a junior. And over the break, I've watched Netflix. I've played basketball. I've worked out outside, and I've done a lot of homework.
Awesome. And you have a sister on the team. So Taylor mentioned the Littles, and then we have you and Ryan, and then we also have the Rook twins. So we have 3 sets of sisters. So tell them who your little sister is real quick. What grade she's in.
She's a freshman.
Perfect. Perfect. Anything else you want to say?
Mm-mm.
All right. Good job, Danny. All right, guys, we will wrap it up. Great job to everybody who shared. We'll give some other girls an opportunity to do that next week. And we did this in about an hour. I did record it. I'll post the recording in the group me. We had a couple different people that couldn't get on. One of them had to work, and one of them had a meeting with one of her teachers on Zoom, I think. So a couple people couldn't get on. Try your best to get on. Now you have a week in advance. 8 o'clock Monday. Try to keep that time open. We'll shoot for 30 minutes or less next Monday. We just want to keep these things short and sweet. But thanks for being on tonight. It's going to be awesome. I really, truly am proud to be a part of all of you guys in terms of your summer basketball teams. And I just really, of anybody on here, I know all of you more than anybody else. It's like I know all these coaches, and I know a lot of you girls and I watch y'all play, and most of y'all don't realize how good all the other girls are and how fun it's going to be. So I'm chomping at the bit for you guys to all get on the court together. It's going to really be an awesome, awesome thing. So y'all have a great night. We'll end the call, and we'll see you guys on the group meeting. We'll see you guys on Zoom next Monday. Later.